So tell me where you was at when God saved you the first time.
Actually was traveling down the road. I'm a truck driver. Was on the highway, and Lord just got to dealing with me, and we got XM in our truck, so we just started flipping through the channels, and it went to Billy Graham, and Billy Graham was preaching heaven or hell.
Yeah.
And it just got to dealing with me. God was already dealing anyway. Like Pastor said, my neighbor John Smith, had been talking to us, and every Saturday he'd come through and he'd say, church in the morning. Every Saturday he'd come through, I should say that. And he'd say, church in the morning. Okay, we just let him talk. And he'd done this for, a couple years at least anyway. And so I didn't tell him that I had gotten back with the Lord. And so this one Saturday he comes through, he said, church in the morning. I said, well, I'll be there. And he'd already started driving off, so then he backs up. He says, do what? I said, yeah, I'll be there in the morning. And he said, all right. I'll believe it when I see it. So Sunday morning I get up, and he told me too, he said, I'll be working the door in the morning, so when you'll have to come through, you'll have to see me. So I walked up, and the cheers just started coming, and we just had such a good time. And well, then, of course, then it told him that, I gave my heart back to the Lord, and then it really got fun. And then a couple weeks later, the Holy Ghost come back. And I don't mean it wasn't just a little. The power of God come in that truck, and it was all I could do to stay on the road. And if I'd have had to shift gears, we'd have wrecked.
Yeah.
So thank God for an automatic truck. But God is just blessed, and He's blessed my life all the way through. And I don't know why I ever turned away. And like we said, we was raised right here in this church. We watched it. They built it. We were teenagers.
How old were you the first time you got saved?
First time, probably about 10.
10 years old?
10 years old.
Wow.
In the old church.
In the old sanctuary,
Yeah.
huh? Wow. You're one of the
Great
young
Stanford.
people. Yeah. So so you say you backslid, so what happened? What do you think caused you to fall away? What do you think caused you to start missing church, or just somebody discourage you, or?
No, it wasn't nobody in the church. Can't blame nobody but me. I mean, I'm the one that did it. I even had, my whole family was going. We were all in church.
And you just started missing? You just started?
Just got to where the job that I was at was there 18 years, the job before this one, because God's opened a lot of doors. I worked for a freight company, and I went to a shuttle position, which I didn't pray about. I just took it because it was more money. I got a little greedy. You know how that goes. Yeah. And, well, then they cut my run out after about 4 or 5 years.
And it took you out of church? That run took you out of church?
No, I was still home on Sunday, so we were still going. And what happened there was they took my seniority. Well, then I got mad.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, God, you do this for everybody else. When's my turn? Yeah. And then, like I said, I put my big foot in my big mouth, and then next thing you know, the family's not going. We're not going. And now that they're older, it's harder to get them back. Everybody knows that.
Oh, yeah.
God's going to move. He's moving in this family.
Yeah.
They'll be here.
Thank the Lord. So you were out for several years.
Several years.
Yeah.
Yeah, long time.
And,
about 14, 15
You're still
years.
working now. You're still truck driving.
Still truck driving. But he closed. Yeah. See, that's the thing, Greg. What you do is you get mad at God. Well, God's already opened another door. That door was closing.
Yeah.
They come in 2009 and laid us off.
Yeah.
Didn't even need that job.
We're glad you got back in.
Me too.
And
I just wish they hadn't took so long.
We're glad somebody kept after you.
Right. That's where the witness, when you just don't think that you're really making a way with it, you are. Yeah. Don't stop. Don't stop doing it. And I never thought of him as a pest.
Yeah.
I just thought he's concerned.
Yeah. Very consistent, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he passed away here just recently. Yeah, he was one of them that got burned up in his house. In his house, fired. Yes. But you'll get to see him again.
Yeah. And, there's no doubt.
And he'll know.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
I'll bring his Bible made the fire.
Yeah.
I have it.
You have it? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's good.
So we'll get to talk about this again. I hope you let me
Yeah.
show that Bible and what God's told me about it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it did survive. Everything else is gone, but that Bible survived that fire. And
Wow.
every page. The only thing that got a little bit crispy was the outside cover.
Yeah.
That was it. The rest of it, you can read every letter, every word in it. And he's got stuff marked, which was just beautiful, especially in the Psalms.
Yeah.
Every time I open it and I can find something else, I'm like, man, I really do love you,
Yeah.
but I miss him.
Yeah.